Hello, my dears, and welcome back to another episode. As you can see, our landscape has changed. Our whole surrounding, we escaped a snowstorm.
Yes, you can see the snow atop the mountains, actually, because it was very cold the other day, and the whole mountainscape was snowed over, so we have this beautiful view now.
Today we're going to be talking about legends of herbs. Before we start, we have Halloween coming up. Would you like to tell a little bit about the beginnings and the history of Halloween?
Yeah, sure. Samhain is the ancient Celtic feast that begins October 31st and ends November 1st. It was the end of the harvest season and the beginning of winter, and was also known as the Celtic New Year. The Celts believed that during this time, the boundary between the living and the dead was thinnest, so that the spirits could roam the earth.
So a lot of people prepared their home during that time to remember their ancestors and invite their spirits in. At the same time, believing that the realm between the living and the dead would kind of meet. They also tried to protect themselves from evil spirits that could come. And so they wore masks and costumes to disguise themselves, to hide from the evil spirits. In the 8th century, the church sanctified this feast day, and it became All Saints' Day, was moved to November 1st, and the night before that was called All Hallows' Eve, or what we know now as Halloween. Now, herbs played a very important role in the whole festivities, the way they would honor their ancestors, and that's what we're going to be talking about right now. Rosemary, the herb of remembrance, was used to remember their ancestors, but also protect themselves from evil spirits. Now we know that rosemary is used for helping our memory, sharpen the mind. That's where you can see that correlation. The Celts would take rosemary and thyme and burn it the way we would nowadays burn incense in church or at home.
Yeah.
Now another important herb was the elderberry. Elderberry is associated with the Germanic goddess Holle, who was also called Elder Mother and had different names in different parts of Europe. And she was a very powerful figure associated with winter and weaving and the rewarding and punishing aspects of justice. You probably remember when you were little, I would read to you Grimm's fairy tale stories.
Yes.
And the story of Frau Holle. The story of Frau Holle is you have these two sisters who go down the well. One is virtuous and the other one is lazy and self-centered. And the virtuous one gets rewarded for her good deeds by being showered with gold, while the other one is showered with tar. Yes. So if you look at that story, you see the intertwining of the winter theme, shaking out the pillows and snow falling on earth, and weaving, be working, and all that. So it's basically a continuation of that figure, which we know as Frau Holle.
Legend holds that the goddess would live in the elder tree, and if you wanted to use some of its wood or cut it down, you had to ask permission first before you did anything with it. Otherwise, you would be cursed. Some people would plant an elder tree in their backyard for protection against lightning.
People would take elder branches, put them over their doorways as a protection from evil spirits.
After they asked for permission, I assume.
After they asked for permission, because they believed that the power of the elders would reside inside the branches, inside the tree. And so when you would put it over your doorway, it would give protection from spirits that wanted to do you harm. People would use the elderberries during the winter months to stay healthy. They realized that it had very strong properties for boosting the immune system. They would contribute these aspects to the goddess Holle. There are other herbs of legend that are not associated with Halloween, but are still very, very interesting, and we want to just name off a few right now.
Yes. Calendula, otherwise known in medieval times as Mary's Gold, was thought to capture sunlight and brought light in darker days. It's anti-inflammatory and heals wounds and burns.
They called it Mary's Gold in medieval times to honor the Mother of God. Yeah, she was associated with healing And the gold, of course, is the beautiful color that calendula petals have. Calendula is a very important herb in our family. We use it personally for all kinds of things, but also for our self-care products. Almost all self-care products have calendula extract or infusions in it for skin healing and rejuvenation.
Yes, and you can find our self-care products at theroyalkellys.com/health.
If you found this content useful so far, you could support our mission to empower people to reclaim their health. Links are going to be down in the description. Then we have the chamomile. It was actually called the plant's physician because it would help other plants around it thrive. Chamomile is loved because of its calming and peaceful properties. In Europe, the chamomile was very much loved and even to this day used extensively for these beautiful properties it has.
Another herb of legend is the beautiful rose. It is another symbol of the Mother of God. It's often paired with her in paintings or sculptures, and they will often anoint her shrines with rose fragrance to show her respect. Rose is, as most of you probably know, the symbol of love, and it's also the symbol of protection. It's very good at soothing the skin. Different colored roses have different symbolisms, and you can see more about that if you look at the Victorian language of the flowers. It's incredibly interesting.
Lavender, used extensively in European folklore as protection and as a calming herb. We know in self-care that it's anti-inflammatory and also antibacterial, very often used for skin care when it comes to acne and redness, inflammation. You'll find useful links in the descriptions. We created a blog post related to this video and ways to support our mission. Remember to check out our self-care products under theroyalkellys.com/health. And as always, like, share, and subscribe.
Stay positive, be bold, and own your health.